It's not a political show. It's not just a sports show. We got free speech.
Supposed to.
This ain't about right or left. It's about what's right and wrong. So they always talking about law and order. But ICE has reportedly violated 96 court orders. That ain't law and order.
Nowhere close.
They can't deport all the Hispanics and turn the country back white. Is that law and order?
Nowhere close.
If the court say do something and you just like, nah, I'm not doing that. Ain't that breaking the law?
ICE. I see the enemy. And everybody right now is the enemy for them. For you to turn on white people, you can just imagine how they think about black and brown. It just ain't got around to us yet. Like you say, we sitting back on this. Because we go on the forefront and start trying to and jump in and talk about it. We going to become the main culprit. All this here BS that ICE doing.
It's definitely about race, color, and your political preference. But that's not law and order. That's lawlessness. What ICE is doing is lawlessness.
Yeah.
If this government don't follow the courts, we don't have a country. We got a regime. All these countries y'all say, oh, it's the worst of the worst. What are we doing now?
But clearly, the president, that's what he want to bring to America because he say he's not leaving the office when it's time for him to leave. So clearly, that's what he wants.
You know what I'm saying? We all famous. I drop my top right now and this big old brainless. Mama, I made it.
Let me just say this. It's not a political show. It's not just a sports show. We don't just talk about entertainment. We talk about what we feel. We got free speech. We're supposed to have free speech. So if you don't like what we about to talk about, because we finna get a little deeper, just keep it moving. This ain't about right or left. It's about what's right and wrong. So, welcome back to the We Are Famous show. I'm Simbo, and this is my partner, CL. Hey, CL spent years in the Marine Corps defending a set of ideals, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the idea that we are a nation of laws and not men. But, you know, looking out the window today, this ain't the America I grew up in. It feels like we're in the 1960s, a loop back, watching history repeat itself in high definition. And instead of it being black people, it's the Hispanics right now. CL, what it do, man?
Hey, we been in the building, man. Who's that peeping in my window?
ICE.
Bow. Nobody now. Yeah, right now ain't nobody peeping in the window right now because ICE taking everybody out, man. They don't care.
I see you though, so people don't think that we hate our country. I see you. You serve the country.
Oh yeah, I did that.
In the mic.
I did that. Been there, done that. Simplify. Hoorah.
Yes, sir. But look,
always faithful, baby.
Breaking news: America's majority will be the minority in a few years, in a hot minute. Hey, they can't deport all the Hispanics and turn the country back white. It's not gonna happen.
They trying.
Hey, they 20% of the population. So if they 20%, we 20%, and you got 9 here, 8 there. Hey man, it is what it is. But you know, hey, they trying.
But thing it is, no matter how many 9s we got, no matter how many 10s we got, it's all about uniting. What kind of power we got without uniting together to do anything? Is there anything we can do with our high percentage if we goddamn start ruling things and make it a black and brown?
Well, I don't know.
What
but
can
look,
we do?
I don't know what we can do, but look, there's a phrase going around right now. TV and your favorite pundit tell you something different. You know, believe your eyes. But you know what, CL? People are waking up to reality that us as black people, black Americans, we've been shouting this for decades. And now you got people out there, and they like, where the black people at? Where the black leaders? Where the black athletes? Why they not helping? Well, you know why? Because we always, when we jump out there and get on Front Street, we the ones take all the hits personally, professionally, you know what I'm saying, financially. Yeah, that's how I go. Look, and I don't want to really use it, but look at Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Dude, career gone.
Yeah.
Because he took a stand for something.
He didn't take a stand. He took a knee. You took a knee, a non-violent knee. It ain't like it ain't no violence come behind nothing he done. He just had an afro on his head, took a knee, and because you talking about you don't want to stand for the national anthem, which not a national anthem for black people anyway. If people knew the history of that song, everybody should be taking a knee.
And this is coming from Marine.
And that's coming from me, a Marine who stand up for it, at attention, and salute it.
I'm going to tell you like this here, man. My personal opinion, we're going to sit this one out. We're not going to get on the front lines, but don't worry. We go help. We go vote. We go do what the Constitution will say. If you don't like what's going on, vote. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to do. Me personally. I can't speak for all black people because we're not one group that does everything the same way. You know, we all got opinions just like everybody else.
Well, that's the thing about it. We got to get out there and vote. You know, midterms and all of that. People just know about the president and just go vote for that. We got to vote for stuff that affect us in our community. And right now, the only reason people making an uproar right now because it's white people.
So, right now, man, President Donald J. He got all his executive powers, and man, they misusing these executive powers. Man, it's crazy. Let's talk about they always talking about law and order, but ICE, has reportedly violated 96 court orders. That ain't law and order.
Nowhere close.
Is that law and order?
Nowhere close.
If the court say do something, and you just like, nah, I'm not doing that, because the president say you ain't got to do it. Ain't that breaking the law?
ICE. I see the enemy. That's what ICE stand for. And everybody right now is the enemy for them. Everybody. Like I say, for you to turn on white people, you can just imagine how they think about black and brown. It just ain't got around to us yet. And luckily, like you say, we sitting back on this because we go on the forefront and start trying to and jump in and talk about it and infringe on what's going on right now. We gonna become the main culprits of all this BS that ICE doing. So best thing for us to do right now is sit back, lean back, like Fat Joe said.
But look, I understand what you're saying. You're right. It's definitely about race, color, and your political preference. But that's not law and order. That's lawlessness. What ICE is doing is lawlessness.
Yeah.
If this government don't follow the courts, we don't have a country. We got a regime like they got in Iran, like they had in Venezuela. All these countries, Cuba, all these countries y'all say, oh, it's the worst of the worst. What are we doing now?
But clearly your president, that's what he want to bring to America because he say he's not leaving the office when it's time for him to leave. So clearly that's what he wants. That's exactly what he wants. And clearly that's exactly what he's doing. And I never seen nobody able to get away with everything he's getting away with right now. Normally stuff got to go through a chain of command. Right now it's no kind of chain of command.
It's no kind of accountability. Congress is supposed to be the people that watch, keep him accountable.
To govern what he got going on.
They're not governing at all. But look, let's jump into this thing that just recently happened in Minnesota. That brings us to Alex Preddy, however you say his name. Rest in peace, sir. You didn't deserve to die like that. He was a VA nurse, a licensed concealed carry holder. He was killed in a confrontation with ICE. And now they found a video of him kicking out of ICE SUV tail light. They say a week prior. I don't know. But suddenly, that's being used to justify him being shot over 9 times, 5 in the back, unarmed, like a wild animal.
Yeah. To me, that's a lie. They, like I say, once again, they telling us what they want us to know. They schooling us what they want us to know. Because if you go back and look at the tape, I don't know if you go back and look at the tape, with the same clothes he had on when he kicked that tail light out is the same clothes he had on when he got kicked. So I know people don't bathe every day. I know in the wintertime people might not bathe every day, something like they do in the summertime. But you tell me a week later, someone of his stature got to be clean and got to be neat, and he get in the same outfit with the same gun in the back. I think what he did that day affected what his demise. And I think it happened earlier that day. If you was to ask me, it happened earlier that day. That's why they were so aggressive when they seen him the second time. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Hey, I don't know if you're wrong or not, but the way the government is investigating this, that'll never, come to light.
Oh, no.
And you got a valid point. Now I think about it, he did have on the same clothes. I need to go back and look at the tape, but it did look like he had on the same clothes.
Yeah.
But what really tripped me out about all of this is the Rittenhouse comparison. I mean, that really trips me out. You know who Kyle Rittenhouse is?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Well, the MAGA crowd, they cheered for Rittenhouse. In case you don't know who Rittenhouse is, he's a 17-year-old boy crossed state lines to Kenosha, Wisconsin. They called him a patriot for carrying an AR-15 type weapon to a Black Lives Matter protest. But Preddy, he followed all the rules. He had a license. He kept it concealed. Yet, because he was protesting against ICE, an agency that's, by the way, ignoring the courts, he was labeled as a domestic terrorist. What they do that in?
Man, you got a young kid, I think was that Tamir Rice, had a little plastic toy gun at a park that you can barely see in your hand. Had an orange tip on it. They let you know it's a fake gun. He got shot down. You got a guy, a kid, 17 years old, went across state lines with a weapon. You know it's a real weapon. He got it facing down. Got it facing down. But he went across there. Even when he shot the guys shot in front of the police. Your police job is to protect and serve. He's supposed to got shot down with him. But then nothing happened, and he was held a hero.
Well, if it was a black 17-year-old,
it'd been different.
He'd have got shot down.
He'd never made it that far.
And what's crazy about it, he made it to the White House. He beat his charges because it was self-defense. He got invited to the White House. I think he got an award. But then President Trump come out and say a guy that was legally carrying a weapon, that was of age, licensed, he shouldn't have came to the protest with a gun. Yeah. See, you can't have it both ways. Mm-hmm. If he for you, if you feel like they for you, it's okay. If they against you, he's against the law. Come on, that's not how this country.
If Purdy would have had that gun and it was been some kind of black rights or Black Lives Matter movement, and he'd have had that pistol on him, and black people would have attacked him or something, and he'd have shot them, it'd have been justified. But now the roles reversed. He got the same.
They gonna say it's federal officers that he was interfering with.
Okay, they still human, right?
Yeah, but they're gonna say it's federal. I'm just telling you that's the argument. It's not my argument.
Yeah,
it's their argument.
But if you look at it on tape, what was he interfering? They the one was engaged. They the one was the aggressor. You supposed to de-escalate as officers. Every officer should be trained in de-escalation. But they the one escalated everything and went in there and pepper sprayed somebody who wasn't confrontational.
Well, you know what, Carl? It's about the side you're on. If you're seen as pro-American by the movement, your gun is a tool of freedom. If you protest in the system, your gun is a threat. That's a double standard. And it's tearing away at this country, the fabric of this country. You gotta have, this country is built on laws. It is. I mean, you can't go to a class, get a permit, and carry your weapon legally and die for it. And he didn't even get unalived for it. They took it from him and just pop, 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 pop.
10 times. He never reached for the gun. His hands was above his head the whole time. Even the officer took his gun, see him on camera running off with it. And that's just to justify their reason for shooting him. And like I say, I think that all stemmed from a few hours ahead of time when he kicked their tail like that. I think he was targeted.
I think you're right. Normally I disagree with you. I think you hit the nail on the head. But let's just jump on because it's been a wild week. So it's not just in the streets, it's in the press. Look at what happened to Don Lemon and Georgia Forte and two other black journalists. First off, you mean to tell me it was only black journalists covering that event at that church when those protesters came in? They're the only people that got arrested for black journalists. Come on.
But Don Lemon, he light as a lemon, but he's still one of us. And so when they see him, they look at him as one of us. You got 30 plus years.
No, he got targeted because he speak out against Trump.
Okay, well that
was the reason. About. That was the reason. Yeah. It just so the bonus.
Yeah.
The bonus that he's black. You know what I'm saying?
If he was saying everything towards pro-Trump, they'll have him on camera. Saying it there, cool. Putting it on repeat. If he was saying everything in favor of what Trump was doing.
But I thought the First Amendment, correct me if I'm wrong, was the bedrock of America.
Supposed to be.
Now, if you're a journalist speaking truth to power, you're at risk of being arrested.
Well, that's just your opinion. And as a journalist, you got the freedom of speech like anybody else. That's just your opinion on things. But because his opinion is not agreeing with this particular administration, that's why he was targeted. That's why he was kidnapped. He basically got kidnapped just like the other guy got in Venezuela. He got kidnapped and locked up.
Yeah, he did. Basically, he did. Look, if people and the tripped out part about it, no judge wanted to take it. They kept telling them no. So they went and got a grand jury, and they say, you can indict an egg sandwich with a grand jury because it's whatever the prosecutor says is going on. Look, if people don't wake up, we doomed. Because guess what? No matter what party is in power, politicians play tit for tat. So the Republicans got the power now. They doing all this. Democrats, don't forget, they go come after it. It's tit for tat. We as the citizens need to wake up and say, hey, hold on. I thought we lived by law.
Well, I guess we doomed then because I can't see us waking up. We ain't woke up in all this time to try to defend nothing that's going on. That's an outrageous. We go out there and protest and tear up stuff, but that's it. But there's no accountability. There's no showing up to nothing after that. And then a few months later, everything down the drain, back to the same thing again until something else show up again.
Hey, this cannot go down the drain. First of all, ICE got to stop kidnapping people, man. That's number one. Number two, especially if the court say, hey, don't do this or return these people. Number two, I thought you had to identify who you are. Number 3, when can you go in somebody's house without a warrant?
Thing it is, police officers should be very identifiable. You should always have name, badge number, all that kind of stuff, and your face shouldn't be covered.
Listen, I talked to a friend of mine. He got ran down by them alphabet boys, but he was doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He knew they was coming. At some point, he knew they was coming, and that's understandable. They doing their job because they undercover. They doing their work. ICE is not.
They're not undercover agents.
They're not doing it. So we seeing tactics that usually belong in countries like Iran and Venezuela, like I said before, and the goalposts keep moving. The same people that say Don Lemon, he not a journalist all of a sudden, is treating Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly, Fox News people, like they prophets. You know why? Because they get along with Trump. They pro-Trump.
Yeah, ICE to me is just a legal KKK. KKK used to cover themselves and hide with hoods and everything, and ICE doing the same thing.
But most of the ICE agents are Hispanic.
But the thing it is,
man, can you make that?
But who they work for?
Hey man,
they still work for a white government, right?
What do you call? And I don't care if I get in trouble. I'm gonna ask you a question. If a black man is doing something, what we call, doing something against his people, what we call?
Nigga,
Uncle
house
Tom,
nigga, Uncle Tom,
Coon, all them type names. What do you call a Hispanic against all people?
Shit, they probably call them the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, mayates.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, these are mayates.
And then, and meanwhile, while all that's going on, do you look at the White House Twitter handle or Instagram?
I don't look at nothing got to do with the White House.
Well, look, man, I just said White House. Mm-hmm. So that should be, esteemed professional. It's the White House, right? Mm-hmm. The White House on Twitter and all their social media, they run it like a Instagram influencer feed, man. It's all optics, no substance, and zero accountability.
So they're getting likes and subscribes.
They spinning everything. I don't know if they're getting likes and subscribe. Probably the MAGA base there. Yeah. But they posted something the other day with Don Lemon said we turned lemon into lemonade, something like that with some chains. I'm like, this the White House? Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if Obama or Biden?
And same way with Purdy. That's why he was targeted then. So he was targeted for the statement he made then. Probably he was targeted too.
I don't know, but now. And I know we moving fast, but hey, we live in a news cycle, man. As soon as this turned out, they gonna be on to something else. Now they saying that President Trump is changing the approach in Minnesota because guess what? The NRA is like, hold up, what you mean Preety can't show up with his gun concealed?
Let people know what NRA means for those who don't know.
National Rifle Association, one of the biggest lobbyists, for the Second Amendment in the country.
They make a lot of money.
They very powerful. They like, hold up, what you mean? Preety couldn't have his gun. Now the administration is catching the heat from the NRA and all the Second Amendment fanatics. And by the way, before y'all go up there talking about they trying to take our guns, I believe in the Second Amendment.
Yes.
I bear arms.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I have a concealed handgun license. And guess what? I'm from the great state of Texas. And you don't even need that in Texas. But I still went got one because, just in case. They flip on us.
Yeah,
I want to have my license. That was my mentality.
That's gonna make a difference if you go home that day or go home another day. Because it's gonna cost you some money if you ain't got it. They're gonna take your gun and everything.
Yeah. So I didn't file for the banana in the tailpipe. The okie doke. I went on and got my license. I told dude, man, I'm going through this class anyway. Not that I don't understand the laws or know how to shoot. I just need that paperwork because, again, we gotta always produce paperwork, documents, and all that. So this is nothing new to us. All the Hispanics that's going through this. Hey, it's been going on. I could never get stopped by the police. Be like, I'm not showing you my ID.
You better not.
I don't care.
Yeah, you get snatched out immediately.
Listen, I don't care how many YouTube videos out there and TikTok videos giving these the laws. Hey, that don't work. That don't work in our community's favor, bro. If you ask to produce your ID and you don't, they go. Hey, okay.
I know my rights. And next thing you know, now you want to comply. Okay, it's too late. You got snatched down and got your chin scuffed up, your eyes scratched up and everything. Now you want to comply. All you had to do is when they pull up to the vehicle, comply in the first place.
I'm not scared of nothing. I ain't a scared person. I'm not scared of the police, the authority. I'm not scared of none of that, but I follow the rules. If I'm pulled over, I tell the officer, hey, I got a loaded handgun in the car. And I don't get pulled over as much as that. I don't get pulled over anymore at all. Younger, I got pulled over a lot. I don't know. Maybe because it looked great, little stuff, but they be like, oh, what up? But I recently got pulled over about a year ago. Dude pulled up to me. He said I was doing 50 and 45, which I'm like, come on. He's like, what you in a rush for? I'm like, oh, bro, I'm not really rushing.
And they normally give you 5 miles.
So I told him I had a gun in the car. He said, man, I appreciate you telling me that. But he thought he had him a little, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of time they be looking for confrontation, but because you didn't give him what he was looking for.
Yeah, I ain't got time. I had to go get to the crib, man, watch the Rockets. I ain't have time. I ain't have time to be tongue wrestling with him because he pulled me over. Yeah, was it inconvenience? Yeah, for about a minute. Yeah. But I don't got warrants and all my tags is right. So, yeah, you know, I get
that minute could have turned into something else if you was a confrontational old head. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them old heads, they the same way. They go off. They not mature as you and been through life like that. So lucky you was mature and old enough to know that, hey, I'm not finna give him what he wants. So because you ain't getting what he want, you got what you want. On watch the Rockets game.
Well, look, man, like I said in the beginning of the show, you're a Marine.
Yes, sir.
You serve this country. How do you feel looking at this version of America?
This version of America is very disappointing. And it's just the more they used to try to not make it so blatant. You know what I'm saying? So they try to make hidden racism, but now everything is just so blatant in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's what make it bad right now for me to be serving my country, fighting for a country they really don't even give a damn about. They don't even give a damn about me and my race of people. Better yet, now they're showing you they don't even give a damn about their own race.
What's crazy though is that all this is about they getting ready to not be the majority. Mm-hmm. Breaking news. Y'all not the majority in the world. And y'all mean white people. Right. I don't know who you identify. And that's another thing. That's a whole another show. What is white?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? So when you get to America, all of a sudden, you know, white become his own race. What is white? White is, y'all don't get along where y'all from.
White is right. That's what they look at it. Right. White is right.
Look, Ukrainians and Russians, all of them white. They don't get along. So all of a sudden you come to America, y'all kumbaya.
Get along.
Man, come on now. Look, I see white Americans expressing this brand new outrage because the system finally turned on them, like you said earlier, you know. But for black and brown, this ain't nothing new. It's just been exported to the suburbs now. Now they in Minnesota shooting down unaliving white people. And I got a real question that's never asked on none of these news shows, none of these YouTube channels, none of this. Why are the European immigrants not facing the same wrath that the Hispanics see by ICE? You mean to tell me, and I did my research, because I'm the research king, because, you know, somebody go come and question me. Right. So look, in recent estimates, there are approximately 500,000 to nearly 900,000 undocumented immigrants from Europe. Sometimes they group with Canada, and Oceania, whatever that is, living in the United States. This group represents a relatively small portion, about 5 to 7% of the total unauthorized population in the U.S. But why there's no outrage for them people? I don't understand.
Because they got the protection for the complexion for the protection.
They got the what?
The complexion for the protection.
The what?
The complexion for the protection. So when you got the complexion for the protection, it's totally different. When you got that complexion.
They need to miss me with that. We just rounding up the people who are criminals, because that's not what we seen. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what y'all telling us, but that's not what we seen, because y'all keep on rounding up people and then you got to release them. Then you're moving them to Texas, moving them to Louisiana. You hiding them from the courts, and the courts say, hey, let these people go. I mean, hey, man, I seen the most incredulous thing the other day on CNN. What you think? It was a Hispanic dude, MAGA. He's a MAGA Hispanic guy. Why you laughing?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Hey, you can be white, black, Hispanic, Chinese. You can be MAGA all you want to. I don't have no problem with that, man. Whatever you vote your conscience. I'm not saying I'm on left or right. I'm an American in this show. That's all I'm trying to be. Mm-hmm. But look, this dude gets on TV with a straight face, and he says the reason ICE is rough, it's a deterrent that brings down crime. They don't cross the border anymore. I'm like, so you mean ICE jacking people off the street? Let's go have somebody in Venezuela be like, hey, man, I'm not going over there. Look how they you know, he might be right. He might be right, but he shouldn't have been the messenger.
So the Hispanic reasoning for being a MAGA supporter was what again?
I'm not saying that's his reason for being a MAGA supporter. I'm saying he was saying that ICE is being rough and doing all these things that they're doing to the Hispanic community because it's a deterrent. It's deterring that people that's crossing the border won't come because they see how serious ICE is about jacking them off the street, kidnapping them like you said.
So that's equivalent to me trying to join a KKK, and because they not gonna hang me and call me to my face, I'm gonna go ahead and support the KKK.
I was just looking at this dude like, wow, like I say, in the black community, we got a name for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look, when you sacrifice the law to protect the law, we are already lost. It's no way those ICE agents, they should be named.
Yeah.
They should be charged.
Yeah.
Especially the one that when he shot 5 times, how many times, then he flipped over and he was face up. He just unloaded
Shot
on
it
him.
5 more times.
Man,
He
that
said,
man-
let me just get all these out my gun. I need some new bullets.
Man, if that man ain't locked up and charged with a crime.
What threat was he on his back after that for you to shoot him 5 more times? That's ridiculous, man. That show you right now. That let me know that incident had to happen during that day for you to have that kind of anger and hostility. You're not gonna have that same anger a week or two if that happened a week or two.
Nah.
That had to happen that day, man.
And I know this though. I know you didn't serve this country so this place can turn into a place where the legality of what you do is based on your voter registration. So I know that you didn't serve the country for this type of America where you only can get away with stuff if you matter.
Right.
You can break laws. You can January 6th, storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
Get released out of jail because you support who's in power right now.
But the person in power incited the riot.
Well,
and he didn't get prosecuted for inciting the riot.
Here go the thing. Let's say that would have happened with Biden, and a bunch of liberals would have did that to the Capitol. He wasn't gonna pardon those people. He wasn't gonna pardon.
Not at all.
You know. So
yeah. But hopefully we get to a point where ICE will stand for I see people as equals. But right now in this society and in the administration we got right now, I don't think ICE will never be I see equal. It's gonna always see I see the enemy right now, and that's basically what they look at us, the enemy. They don't look at us equivalent to them.
That was beautiful.
You gonna cry?
I ain't gonna cry, but that seemed put together very well. Look, we're at a crossroads. We either go return to the rule of law for everybody, or we go admit that this experiment of America is over, freedom is over. I want to thank everybody for listening. This your first time, don't make it your last time. You gotta subscribe to get notified. I'm Simbo.
I am CL.
And we all famous.
Acer, no chaser. Yeah.
Bitch, we told him.